So close and feminine, professional, bird of prey. I spin round like a tree before it hits the ground. You're the storm that turns the breeze into bitter wind. Summer dress, I walk you home. Confessional, bird of prey. I spin round like a tree before it hits the ground. You're the storm that turns the breeze into bitter wind. I spin around like a tree before it hits the ground.
My name's Charlie Heap. We're starting here at Duncombe Park, a new branch of the International Centre for Birds of Prey. Originally started in Gloucestershire 45 years ago, we're spreading our wings and moving north. It's all a bit of a work in progress just at the moment. It's a building site and we're knee deep in mud. But we're heading to be opening for later on in 2012, and fingers crossed if the weather holds, that's exactly what we will be doing. First thing you see is the end of our hawk walk. This is a line of compartments that will go on here for some of our trained birds. And as you pan left, you see my digger and my dumper. And then as we
Because
keep...
you're doing a lot of the work yourself, aren't you? You've also
Yeah,
got some
I'm-
local contractors. here.
Exactly, we've got some guys from Kirby Moorside here.
Yes, Sid and Co, yeah.
Exactly, but I am a builder myself. Hopefully, this is going to be my last building job that I do, as I turn over to running this instead. But yeah, so this is my world, I'm afraid. Mud and diggers and dumpers.
At
and what
the
have you.
moment, but what a transformation we'll see over the next few months.
I hope so.
Okay, so what have we got around here then?
This
Charlie?
is another line of compartments for our hawk walk. It'll form a courtyard area here. We're stood very much in the heart of the whole site, and as we keep going left past the old tree stump, you can see that's one base there. There's another one just further belong it, and those are 2 aviary blocks. There'll be 9 aviaries there altogether. A small falcon block, and the one that we can see closest to us, that'll be for some of our trained owls. And the base that we're actually standing on just at the moment, this will be our weighing room, our food preparation area, and our sick quarters for hopefully our very few sick birds that we have of our own. And an application to the national park, and we explained what we're about and what we're planning on doing, and they recommended that we apply for a grant to cover the everything that we do. So the public education, the conservation, the captive breeding of birds of prey, the courses that we hold here. We have a volunteer program here, so we've already got people coming and volunteering and helping out and getting involved. And the Sustainable Development Fund covers not only that, but also some of the green building techniques that we're using. So we're using special insulation, we're using hemp straw insulation, we're using a heat pump to heat buildings and what have you, and we're using an awful lot of local materials as far as we can as well.
Brilliant. Can you just tell us a little bit more about this volunteering, because anybody watching this might want to get involved. What are the opportunities?
Well, the opportunities at the moment are slightly more limited than they will be in the future. However, if there is anybody who would like to come and volunteer to do some labouring, some bricklaying, and some banging in some nails, you would be very, very welcome, and we'll be very grateful for you coming too. In the future, our volunteer programme is slightly more two-way. There's no birds on site just at the moment, so there isn't a great deal we can give back other than our gratitude. But in the future, our site will be copying the techniques we use in our site down in Gloucestershire, where volunteers come in and they spend the day cleaning aviaries or mowing lawns or weeding flower beds and what have you.
Right.
But then towards the end of the day, they get an opportunity to feed a bird on the fist, or maybe to fly a Harris hawk, or whatever stage that they're at. So they do get to learn something and to be part of something too.
And so, as well as volunteers, you're obviously going to have paid staff here. How many members of staff do you think you'll be having to run?
We haven't actually quite decided just at the moment, but we're looking at probably 3 members of bird staff and then 1 member of staff to run our shop and entrance area.
Right, okay, great. Let's go and have a look at the other buildings.
We've come down into the old Christmas tree plantations here that I know lots of local people will be familiar with. The first one we're looking at that the chaps are on with at the moment, that's our eagle barn. There'll be 9 eagle aviaries in there, and they've had a bit of an entertaining morning this morning, getting the telehandler stuck and nearly turning it over. But,
really?
But we pulled it out. Thank you, Mr. Dave Snowden, for pulling that out for us.
Okay.
And then panning further right rather, we've got our hawk and kite barn. Similar sort of idea, 9 aviaries in there.
Tell us what the construction is going to be. Obviously you've got a steel frame, but what's it going to look like?
It's they will look like hopefully agricultural barns. So any exterior walling will either be mesh or it will be timber Yorkshire boarding. They're all solid roofs to keep the birds nice and warm and dry and safe. And so the public walk round the outside looking in at the mesh, and the birds have 3 solid walls.
Right.
Birds of prey don't like people going behind them.
Okay.
So if you give them a sort of cul-de-sac to sit in and they can look out, they feel nice and safe.
Right, brilliant. And then round here to the, well, back a bit,
further
slightly
right,
smaller.
That's going to be our education centre, and there'll be staff accommodation in there for our manageress who's going to come and live here.
Oh, we're going to live here, right?
Yeah, someone will be on site all the time.
So
It's not the sort of thing that you want to just lock up and leave at the end of the day.
Sure. Christmas trees earlier on, because this is where on Duncombe Park people come for their Christmas trees every year. Is that going to disappear?
It is. It's known as Christmas Tree Cottage because I'm sure many people came here and
Yeah.
they bought their Christmas trees from exactly here. The Christmas trees will still be being sold from Duncombe Park.
Oh, great.
It won't be done from exactly here. I'm very much hoping it'll be done from the Parkland Centre, where hopefully the parking will be better and there'll be less mud than there has been in previous Christmases.
Fantastic. Well, that's good news, and it's good news to see how rapid the development is. You might not think it is, but I was only up here 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I think there's been a heck of a lot. So I'll come back in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and perhaps we'll see how you're getting on.
You're very welcome to.
Cheers, Charlie.
Thanks.